Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our number 4 of the Line Talk 99.5. By the way, waiting on confirmation for Mark-Wayne Mullen. Yesterday, the Senate voted to confirm Mark-Wayne Mullen as the DHS chief, 54-45, with one Republican voting no. Does anybody want to guess who it was? It was crybaby Rand Paul. He said Mark-Wayne Mullen said something mean to him one time.
Get that Rand guy out.
He said Mark-Wayne Mullen made a joke about Rand Paul's neighbor beating the ish out of him that one time. I don't remember what it was he said, but it's something to the effect of he deserved it, you know. And I mean, Kerry Adams said that too. So it's like whatever. It's not that big a deal. It's just words. Get over it. But anyway, Rand Paul voted no. John Fetterman and Martin Heinrich voted yes on the Democrat side. And then Democrat Senator from Arizona, Ruben Gallego, didn't vote because he's a communist cartel member, I guess. So, anyway, that's going to be happening here in just a few moments. I just wanted to update you on that if you hadn't heard yet. That is very good news. Also, great news for you travelers in some airports as relief has arrived over the past day or so. ICE agents, believe it or not, are coming to save the day. I'll talk to you about that here in just a few. First, let me tell you about Chuck Davis, chuckdavislaw.com. If you need an attorney, I've got you an attorney. It's actually my personal attorney. That is Chuck Davis. chuckdavislaw.com. It's got all the information you need, and he will get you hooked right on up. He'll get you hooked up. Divorce, custody, wills, probate, contracts, personal injury, wrongful death, slip and fall, car wrecks. Did I already say car wrecks? All of this stuff, man. Chuck's got you. You need representation in these situations. So if it's anything, I mean, just anything that requires an attorney, reach out to him. He'll answer all the questions you got. He's just a great guy. He's a friend, but he's my attorney as well, and has really stuck up for me in some very dire situations. And I can't say enough good things about him. So, attorney, my attorney, Richard Dixon's attorney, you know he's a good guy. Reach out at this number, 205-823-9992. That's 205-823-9992. Online, chuckdavislaw.com. No representation is made that the legal services provided are superior to the legal services provided by other lawyers. Got to give you the John Bird Plays Guitar winner, but if I could, Mark-Wayne Mullen is about to be given the oath of office, if you will, in the Oval Office. And Donald Trump is speaking before the swearing in of Mullen. Let's go to that for just a moment.
Former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and many other friends that are gathered with us. It's a great group of people. For 13 years, Mark-Wayne has represented the incredible state of Oklahoma, a state that I won 77 out of 77 counties 3 times in a row. So they like me there. Second was Ronald Reagan at 56. Did you know that? 56. That's not bad. But 77, it's 77 out of 77, I think, right? That's not bad. But he was there in Congress as a member of the House and then as an outstanding United States Senator. And he really has been outstanding. He's been a close and vital partner in helping us secure the border, stop migrant crime, end the scourge of illegal drugs, and make America safe again and make America great again. And he's a tremendous player. He worked with Tom Homan, worked with all of our people on the right, and many more. And everything he's done has been good. I say everything he touched, he's turned to gold. Now, but even in business, he was successful, in all fairness. And he was successful. And he said, I want to go into politics. I hope you're happy. But as the only Native American, I didn't know that, huh? Let me look at you. Well, I think that's all right. He's got great quality, I can tell you. He's the only Native American in the Senate. How many have been there before you? Do you know? Native American?
I think 3.
3. Well, you're a fantastic representative. Mark Wayne has also been a fantastic advocate for our cherished tribal communities. He's now the first member of the Cherokee Nation ever to serve as a member of the cabinet. I didn't know all these things. I would have picked him faster if I had known. I would have made a quicker decision. Prior to his career in public service, Mark Wayne had a very successful career in business, leaving school at age 20 after his father got sick, taking over his family business and turning it into a multi-million-dollar success story. He's a very successful guy. Mark Wayne has also a career as an MMA fighter. That's why I looked at his ears and I said, I'm not going to fight with him. You can tell a lot about a person by their ears, right? During which he went totally undefeated. He was undefeated during his career, and he's been inducted into the Oklahoma Wrestling Hall of Fame. And the family is made of fantastic wrestlers, especially that guy right there. That's my favorite guy, huh? And suffered bad injury and come back stronger than ever, I think. So good to have you, man, right? I have no doubt that as he takes the helm of DHS, Mark Wayne will fight for Homeland Security, the United States, and securing the country and making it.
All right, so I'll jump back in here. So he's just going to talk about Mark Wayne Mullen for a few. If he takes questions, maybe we'll bring that to you, see if he's got any update on Iran or any of the negotiations going on that CNN had to begrudgingly admit that are happening. But here we go. Also, they're doing an update on the LaGuardia crash with the Air Canada plane with the 2 pilots. As they are investigating that, we will let you know what they come up with. But the moment everybody's been waiting for, John Bird plays the guitar this Friday. You got 4 songs that include Blind Melon, No Rain, Radiohead, Creep,
Right. And after all.
Wonderwall by
Wonderwall.
Oasis,
And
and
if I
had $1 million. If I had, see, if you win that, I can do the backups. Yeah.
I
So,
like that.
Anyway, I don't know if it won or not. I personally would prefer Creep, but I'll be happy with $1 million. And I'll also be happy with the song if I had $1 million.
Yeah, really.
DJ John Bird Casey Kasem, tell us who came in at number 4.
Coming in at number 4 with 5% of the vote, Wonderwall by Oasis.
Wow. Are we playing samples of? No, we don't do that. We don't do that when we announce. Okay, my bad. Don't listen to me. Number 3, DJ John Bird, Casey Kasem.
The last 3
No,
were
who?
within 4
okay.
percentage points of each other.
Oh, wow.
Coming in at number 3 with 29% of the vote, If I Had $1 Million by Bare Naked Ladies.
No, which leaves Creep by Radiohead and
The number
Blind
one.
Melon.
The number 1 song with 35% of the vote is Creep by Radiohead.
So fucking special.
I thought I had it queued up. I got some
Oh,
editing to do here.
all right. Now let's see if he says the F word when he's singing it.
Oh, no.
Good job. That had to be dumped on radio, but for those of y'all listening online, as soon as he started the song, the one F word in the whole song is like right there at the beginning.
Yeah. Now, No Rain by Blind Melon was 31% of the vote, so it was very, very close.
Wow. So 29, 31, and
35.
35.
So 6 percentage points.
And that, and then Oasis was 5%.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted that.
Yeah, I think they're probably burned out on it.
Today is gonna be the day.
They're gonna throw it back to you.
You'd have to do that in that accent as well.
Mm-hmm.
By now, you should have somehow realized
Realize
what you gotta do. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Anybody feels the way I do
Back to now.
Yeah, I'm glad that won. If I had $1 million, would have been good.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Maybe y'all suggest to put that one back in the hopper. Maybe what are we, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday we get suggestions.
You know what? Okay, let me mention something. Okay, I think that maybe this Thursday should be a listener pick'em.
A listener pick'em.
Yes. So in other words, we've got to figure out a way that we pick a listener that can be the judge, but whatever song they picked, we take out of the mix so they can be, and then they can pick the final four.
So the listener picks the final four. We
guest
email them a list.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, give us 4 songs, and they send 4 back, and that's our final 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to do this? Do you want to say who winner of the Hey Now roll call on a particular day? Or how about this? Ooh. If somebody wins the Hey Now roll call 2 days in a row, which would have to be between, well...
I mean, we could wait till next week.
Yeah.
But I like the roll call winner.
So do you want to say the roll call winner of Thursday?
Of Thursday, yes.
Okay. So if you win the Hey Now roll call on Thursday, not only do you get a song, but you get to be the special guest picker.
Yeah. And I would say
Thursday.
now, if you win that Hey Now and you're the guest picker, don't pick a song.
Well, then who's going to pick the first song of the show?
Oh yeah. Pick the first song of the show, but that won't be considered a vote. You won't have a vote as a judge.
Oh, I don't know what you're saying.
No. In other words, they would certainly pick their song. So what we want to do, since like if you pick or I pick or we have a guest picker, they're not picking a song of their own. So you're strictly a judge. So that picker picks from the other songs. You got it?
No.
Right.
But
there's somebody special. So they, do you pick a song that you want me to play when you judge? No.
What do you mean by judge? Who's judging?
Picking the final 4.
Picking the final 4.
Right. Do you have one of your songs in there? No.
No.
Okay. So he won't or she won't because they are a guest picker.
Are you saying that they don't get to vote on the final 4? They just pick the final 4 but don't get to vote?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Well, that's fine. If you see them on social media voting, then don't count their vote.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll take it. We'll take them on the. You know what? You can vote. Heck yeah, you can vote. Of course, that's stupid. I'm an idiot. God,
I was just having a hard time following what you were saying.
Yeah, whoever we pick for the guest picker on Thursday will get to be the picker of the final 4 on on Monday, because we give it to them after the show, and we'll tell them what time to determine their final 4.
Okay.
Oh my God, I screwed this up.
Yeah, let's move
here
on.
goes the mic. Goodbye, everybody.
205-545-9950. The NTSB saying the tower cleared the truck. Crew confirmed. Landing checklist complete. I'll tell you what, during this break, I'm going to listen to this press conference to see if they give us any updated information on that wreck at LaGuardia Airport and bring that to you. A lot more show to go, so don't go anywhere. All right, so what I'm getting from the TSA or the NTSB is not a whole lot. They're just explaining how the things went down, and they've got hours and hours of good, clear footage, but that the situation with TSA and the Democrats' unwillingness to fund TSA is actually slowing down the process of the investigation, so we'll see how that goes. Trump is taking questions now after Muellen's swearing-in ceremony. Let's dip into that just for a moment.
You know, we have the safest border we've ever had. We have a lot of assets, but a lot of things we can do, and we're going to do. We have to get criminals out of our country that were allowed in by Biden. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, do you support what appears to be emerging agreement coming out of the Senate to reopen DHS?
Well, I'm going to look at it, and we're going to take a good, hard look at it. I want to support Republicans, and, you know, sometimes it's awfully hard to get votes when you have Democrats that don't want to have voter ID. They don't want to have proof of citizenship. They don't want to do anything about men playing in women's sports. That's one of the items we put on, you know. And I did that just because it's so popular. You know, they say that's at least an 80-20 issue. No, it's about a 99-1. I don't think it's, what do you think, Pete? Do you think it's 80-20? Who's closer, 80-20 or 99-1?
Almost 100.
Yeah, I think 100 is really the, so, you know, so I support that, and I support common sense.
Would you be comfortable with a deal that involves separating ICE funding from the DHS funding package in order to reopen?
Well, they're working on all of that. You know, that's a detail that they'll explain later. Please.
Election integrity and DHS measures. Mr. President, since CISA falls under DHS, and given that many credible voices have raised concerns over its premature and possibly likely faulty 2020 election assessment, will you and Secretary Mullen implement reforms at CISA and at DHS to ensure full confidence in future elections, like in the upcoming?
We'll talk about it, you know, pros and cons. Look, they used it to try and put me in prison, right? So I can't be thrilled with it. They used that very strongly, very illegally. The Democrats are thugs, and I don't want to say that. It would be nice to everyone get along, but it's a different country than it was years ago. It was very dangerous the way they used it. And they weaponized government. They used that to weaponize government. So I'm not thrilled, but I'll also go along with two groups of people, the military, and I think the military likes it, right? And I'll go along with the senators. I'm fine. But I was a big victim of it. Yeah, please.
Are you going to send Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to do direct negotiations with the Iranians?
Yeah, well, we're in negotiations, as it turned out, and now you've seen what I said yesterday was exactly correct. We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal. And who wouldn't if you were there? Look, their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their communications are gone. That's the biggest problem. It's very hard to communicate them between themselves. All of the anti-aircraft is gone. Most of their missiles are gone. We either shot them or they shot them and don't have them anymore. They're down to a trickle. They're pretty much everything they have is gone. I don't know. Can you name one thing that's not gone, or can you name one thing that's doing well? You know, if you read the papers, you think we're tied. You think we're in a tough battle. We are roaming free over Tehran, the city, Tehran, as opposed to Iran. We're roaming free. We can do whatever we want. And as you know, today we were going to have the privilege of shooting down a very big electric generation plant, one of the biggest in the world. And one shot to the right location ends the plant. It collapses. And we held off based on the fact that we're negotiating. Yeah.
What do you think was the turning point to make you want to pursue a ceasefire? A few days ago, you said you wanted to continue bombing Iran. Now you want to pursue peace talks. Was there something that happened?
The fact that they're talking to us and they're talking sense. And remember, it all starts with they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Just, you know, I said yesterday, they said, what are the top 10? I said, well, number 1, 2, and 3 is they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And we're talking about that. And I don't want to say in advance, but they've agreed they will never have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that.
How do you ensure they won't have a nuclear
Your
weapon?
former Border Patrol chief, Greg Bovino, said his only regret is that he didn't catch more illegal aliens. What's your reaction to that?
Who said that?
That's your former Border Patrol chief. He just retired.
Well, I mean, we captured a lot. You know, they were allowed into the country by Sleepy Joe and that group of incompetent people that were, he was the worst president ever, the group of incompetent people. To me, that's the biggest scar. You know, inflation, they caused the highest inflation we've ever had. We've already gotten rid of it. The biggest scar is what they did, the people that they allowed from prisons all over the world. They came from the Congo, from all over South America. Rough, rough, rough people. Really tough people. So, no, I understand what he means. He says, you know, he would have liked to have captured more. I'm not capturing so much as removing. You know, we're removing thousands of people. And many are self-deporting because we're going after them so powerfully that they're self-deporting, Tom. Going back, I think that's one of the big unkept secrets. We have thousands and thousands of people, and they're self-deporting. They're going back to where they came from. But what we want really is the criminals. We're really focused on those criminals, getting them out. Yeah.
What's your message right now to Democrats and also to Americans that are stuck in airports? It's really devastating watching it online because Democrats won't fund DHS.
What's devastating?
Your message to Americans right now stuck in airports as we speak because Democrats won't
Well,
fund
they just
DHS.
don't, they won't. Look, this is a deal that was done in the great big beautiful deal, which gave you the biggest tax cuts ever, including no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security for the seniors. Think of it, no tax on overtime, tax deductions when you buy a car, you take money, pay interest on the money, you deduct it. We've never had that for people buying cars, if it's an American car, only if it's an American car. But they are just they stick together, the Democrats. I tell you, I give them great credit for that. We have some that they're not good stickers. We have guys like Tom Massey in Congress, who's terrible. He's just terrible, terrible person. I call him Rand Paul Jr. But they don't vote. Rand Paul, I mean, rarely votes for stuff. He likes me, says I'm a great president. He said the other day, I'm a great president, one of the greatest presidents. But I said, do me a favor, vote for us and don't call me a great. I'd rather have the vote than the statement. But we have people that don't stick together, and those people hopefully will someday be gone. And the thing I most respect about the Democrats, even on horrible policy, they stick together. What they do have, though, is horrible policy. Transgender for everyone, open borders, men and women's sports. They have the worst policy that you can imagine. And
all right, so I'm going to dip in here because
so
we got to get a
whether they
break.
stick
I'm going to
together or
continue
not,
to
I mean, they have
listen
just
to
as
this
terrible
as we go through the break. Also, try to get you a Will segments on the other side if we could make that happen. You know we always try our best. 205-545-9950, the line, Talk 99.5. Okay, so Trump is telling the story right now. He's first of all pointing out the fact that the people we're negotiating with in Iran is the third set of leadership. He said they had their original leadership, we knocked them out. They put in a second set of leadership, we knocked them out. And now we're on the third. He said, in this third group of leadership is much different than the first. He said, and in the negotiations, he said they just sent a what he called a prize, a gift. They sent a gift to Donald Trump, I guess, as kind of a token of a sign of good faith negotiations. I don't know. This is stuff that we haven't heard yet, and I may have to dip into that for just a moment, which might railroad our will of segments. But first, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. UnderdogFantasy.com and the Underdog Fantasy app. Download the app, free to download, free to sign up, free to use my promo code HeyNow. And when you use my promo code, you're going to get $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. What is Underdog? You got the big tournament going on. As you know, the beautiful 16 left, including Tennessee and Alabama. And let's see how it plays out, man. Basketball is already exciting enough, but when you add that extra element to making picks on players, such as their stats, whether they're going to go higher or lower on different stats, and you possibly winning money while you're watching the game, I find it much more fascinating to make picks on teams that I'm not emotionally invested in, such as not my team, because it gives me a lot more interest in that game as opposed to if I had no skin in the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, it's so much fun. And even if you don't think you're going to like it, I encourage you to download it and check it out because you got nothing to lose. It's free to download, free to sign up. Using my promo code HeyNow, all one word, get you some bonus entries and just peruse around. See if you like it. It's a free app to download. That's all I'm asking you to do. Download the app today and use promo code HeyNow to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HeyNow. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit ncpgambling.org. I want to go back to Trump because this is fascinating, all right? He's talking about Iran and saying that Iran's newest leadership, remember, third round of leadership, they really want to make a deal. Let's go back to the White House.
Pilots making it. The pilots saw what was coming. And they said, those are patriots. We're not going to escape patriots. And they got out of there pretty quick, Pete, right? Pretty amazing that they got out. The 3 pilots lived. They're fine. In fact, they're flying today.
Was the Kuwaitis that accidentally fired the missile?
Yeah, the Kuwaitis made a mistake. They fired. They thought they were firing at the enemy. It was, as the expression goes, friendly fire. But the pilots are great. They're flying today. Pretty amazing, right? When you think of it. Yeah.
President Trump, on a human level, how hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out? Like as a human,
On what?
On a human level, not as the President of the United States. How hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out with Iran?
You're talking about to end it? Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close battle. They're totally defeated. You know, we killed their Navy in, would you say 3 days, Pete? Gone. In fact, I was a little upset with Pete. I said, why didn't you save the ships? We could have used them, right? He said it's more fun shooting them down. But the Navy was wiped out in a very rapid order. Pretty impressive for you guys, you champion wrestlers, right? When you hear this stuff. But you don't, if you read the news, you don't hear this. You know, you read like, oh, they're doing wonderfully. They're doing terribly. They're wiped out militarily. They are dead. Yeah.
On Ukraine, is there a new sense of a timeline? Do you want to get something done before the midterms?
Well, we'd like to see President Putin and President Zelensky sit down and make a deal. I think they're getting close, but I've been saying that for a while. I've settled 8 wars. All of them should have been more difficult than this one. This should have been the easiest one. But these are 2 people that truly hate each other. You'll find out that hatred is not good for making deals. These are people that they don't like each other very much. Yeah.
I know you said there's a bunch of people from the administration who are negotiating with Iran. There's been reports that the vice president is leading those negotiations. Is that true?
Well, he's involved in them. JD is involved, and Marco's involved, and Jared Kushner's involved, very smart guy, and Steve Witkoff, smart guy, is involved. And I'm involved. I'm involved. Why? I'm going to be so big. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I'm the president of the United States, Tom, and I'm not going to talk about it. It's beneath me to talk about saving millions of lives, because that's what you're talking about. You're talking about saving millions of lives. If Iran had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. And if I didn't end the horrible Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal, in my first administration, they would have had a nuclear weapon 3 or 4 years ago. They would have used it. I would have never gotten the chance probably to be president. Who knows what it would have been so devastating. And if we didn't send those beautiful B-2 bombers, they took them off my desk. They were right there. I don't know why. But if we didn't have those beautiful, the B-2 hit, which was so we obliterated, despite CNN. CNN said, well, maybe the word obliteration said, no, we obliterated it, just obliterated their nuclear potential. You would have had them having 2 weeks after that attack, had we not made the attack, they would have had a nuclear weapon. They would have absolutely used it, and they would have used it on the entire Middle East, including Israel. And you know why you see that? Because unexpectedly, when this war broke out, unexpectedly, they started sending missiles to UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, and elsewhere. And nobody thought they were going to. Were you equally surprised by that, Pete?
Way more than we thought, Mr. President.
Pete, do you want to give about a 3-minute statement on how we're doing in this, as I call it, military operation? People don't like me using the word war, so I won't. But the Democrats call it a war. How about a little statement? I think he's done a very good job. Do we agree he's done a good job, Mark Wayne? Can we take some of your time?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. You're spot on. Never in history has a modern military, Iran had a modern military, a modern navy, a modern air force, modern air defenses, leadership, massive bunker. Never has a modern military been so rapidly and historically obliterated, defeated from day one with overwhelming firepower. The air campaign that we've conducted, that Israel's conducted alongside us, was one for the history books, truly. And it's because we have a president of the United States that when he sends his warfighters out to fight, he unties their hands to actually go out and close with and destroy the enemy as viciously as possible from moment one. And that's why we see ourselves as part of this negotiation as well. We negotiate with bombs. You have a choice as we loiter over the top of Tehran, as the president talked about your future. The president has made it clear that you will not have a nuclear weapon. The War Department agrees. Our job is to ensure that. And so we're keeping our hand on that throttle as long as hard as is necessary to ensure the interests of the United States of America are achieved on that battlefield. This is not Iraq and Afghanistan. This is not a president who's interested in vague end states. He's been very clear with us about what we need to accomplish, creating the conditions for them never to have a nuclear capability, and that's exactly what we're doing in historic fashion. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Pete.
Appreciate
it. Thank you, Richard.
Mr. President,
you know, the only two people that were quite disappointed, I don't want to say this, but I have to. I said, Pete and General Raisin Kane, I think this thing's going to be settled very soon. Here they go. Oh, that's too bad. Pete didn't want it to be settled. It's these guys are doing a great job. That's a good attitude, though, Tom, right? They were not interested in settlement. They were interested in just winning this thing. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, can you, just taking things locally, hopefully not doing international affairs for a second, do you support the construction of the 2nd Avenue subway in New York City, and will your administration
Wow,
work
that's really far out, Chris. You know, the 2nd Avenue subway has been under construction for, you're a young guy, is longer than you are old, okay? Huh? That's been under construction. I haven't heard about the 2nd Avenue subway in 20 years. What the hell kind of a question is that? I guess they got to get it finished. They spent trillions of dollars practically. No, they spent more money on that than on anything, I think, in the history of our city, in New York City. And it's been under construction for a long time. It's very sad, actually. The only thing maybe worse was Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, his train, I call it his train wreck because it's a wreck. That's been years. It's literally 30 times over budget. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it doesn't go to San Francisco and Los Angeles like it was supposed to. They decided to cut it way short because there was no way they could finish it. But it's one of the worst. I've never seen anything like it. Other than the worst, the Federal Reserve building for almost $4 billion, little building that's going to cost a renovation for $4 billion, headed by our highly incompetent head of the Federal Reserve.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President, would you be open, are you hoping to see the Senate pursue Reconciliation 2.0 to fund ICE and pass the Save America
Well,
Act?
we'll see about reconciliation. We're certainly talking about reconciliation, I think, Mclain, right? Do you want to talk about that for a second? Now that he's working, we can get him to do this.
Thank you. Lindsey Graham, the chairman where the reconciliation will funnel through, he is committed to making sure we get reconciliation through. If that is in some form with funding ICE, possibly backfilling from the One Big Beautiful Bill, but also more importantly, the Save American Act. There's a framework that we can do through reconciliation, paying for it, put some of the policies that cost money in, because there's nothing more important than the Save American Act. I mean, that's what the American people want. There's 80% of the population say they want only Americans voting, citizens that are registered to vote, citizens that have done it the right way. And I believe that everybody wants an election integrity. So fortunately, Lindsey Graham has said through reconciliation, he's willing to put the framework out for that.
And I think that was said so beautifully, so concisely, so well, your father, that we should let him have the last word, and that was it. That was the last word. Did he do a good job? Are you impressed with your father?
Never been more impressed with anybody in my life.
How about me? Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. No, you like your father better, okay? Come here. Look at this guy. Come here. This guy, don't wrestle him. We'll steal over here. All right. I want to thank the family because without the family, he's not here. You know, he's a different person, and that goes especially for Mom, who looks like she's about 22 years old. I don't know. I see these kids, but she looks very young. But it's a great couple. Congratulations to you both. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I guess he's wrapping it up there. I don't believe, yeah, it looks like he's done with the questions. Interesting stuff there, nonetheless. I'm glad we brought that to you because we needed to hear that. And we'll pick back up on the Wheel of Segments tomorrow. Noto Roofing, real quick for you, NOTOroofing.com. NOTOroofing.com, 205-848-2299. That is 848-2299. Yeah, buddy, get that free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up, and all the things you need. I mentioned earlier, maybe you're somebody that just hasn't had your roof inspected in years. Now's the time to do it, man. Now's the time to get it taken care of. Maybe you think you got problems. Bad storms have been rolling through as of late. Could have something going on up there. Could be noticing some leaking going on. Maybe you notice. I want you to take a look at your gutters when you get home. See if you've got any maybe separation between the side of your roof and your gutters. If you see that separation, that's not a good sign. Water's going to get down in there and start rotting that wood away. Any of these things, Noto's going to be looking for all of it. Free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up. And if you have problems, They'll help you file that insurance claim, no problemo. 205-848-2299 and online, notoroofing.com. Interesting points made by Donald Trump as well, which we can talk about tomorrow, over the fact that the fake news painting this as a war. He's like, they literally don't even have a military. We've got free reign. We own their airspace. We can do whatever we want to with them. And I think a lot of people kind of, forget that part. Like, we have decimated these guys to where they have no ability to fight except for a handful of missiles. Like, that's all they've got. And then their terror proxies across the way, which are funded by Iran, who no longer has anything. Anyway, we'll get into that tomorrow. Mandu bringing you this part of the show, MANDUU.com, Mandu.com. I have been very proud of myself for how I've been conducting myself at Mandu as of late. I have been doing my Mandu workout, and I've been making sure to get 50 to 60 grams of protein in my body after my Mandu workout. I've been doing that for 2 weeks now, and I have started noticing even bigger of a difference outside of my normal Mandu gains, if you will. And if you want to see a difference in your body and your muscle and your definition. If you want to see it fast, man or woman, 18 or 80 years old, I don't care who you are, what you got going on, Mandu's where you can do it at. Mandu in Homewood, Mandu in Huntsville, Mandu in Tuscaloosa. They got you covered. And if you sign up in the month of March, 10% off your first month. After 90 days, 5% off going forward for as long as you do Mandu. 205-438-6003 is the Homewood number. 438-6003. And all the information online for Mandu Homewood, Mandu Huntsville, Mandu Tuscaloosa is at mandu.com, MANDUU.com. This will change your life. I promise you that. I'm out here until tomorrow. See you, God.